Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we discussed the database schema as well as what we are going to build and how it will be structured, right? So I have also written everything down in an article, so you can check it out if you want a quick reference. So in today's video, we are going to start working on category model and its database, as well as we will try to create a filament resource for category. Along with that, I will also show you how we can set up localization right from the beginning, so our project is flexible for multiple languages in the future. So let's jump right into it. So let's start by creating a category model and migration. Artisan make model category slash n. So here now I need to add those things, so it is name, right? Then it's slog, which must be unique, I think, right? Then we need a text, which should be a description, and it should be nullable. So before that, I need, let's say, mm, we can see here for reference. Okay, parent ID, of course, foreign ID, parent ID, references ID on categories, and it can be nullable too, right? Then after that we can have integer short, which should be by default 0, and finally a boolean flag, active or status, anything that we want, right? Let's say active. So let me run the migration file. Perfect. So if let me go to category model. So now here I need to, first thing that I need is I need to add the fillable method. So here I want name to be on fillable slog. I think it's not ordered, it's short description, and then it is parent ID. After that it is what's the next thing? Okay, active, I think, right? So then I need public function parent return, let's say $this belongs to categories or not, let's say self class, and its return type is, let's say, belongs to. Similarly we have children, whose return type will be has many, right? So return $this has many self class or category, right? Perfect. So now this is what we all need to do about our model. So let's start from filament resource. So quickly, PSP artisan make filament resource category. So you must know that I am using filament before. So it will ask for me for the title attribute. So I will just name. I will explain what this title attribute in a second. And I don't need read only page, and I want it to automatically generate all the database from the my database columns. So if I go here, now you can see a small twist from filament b3 to b4. In filament b3 we used to write all the code in a same place, so meaning that our form will be used in a same file, right? So we used to return the form components directly from here and table data from directly from here. But now to make it more clear, so now the in filament before it has been separated, nothing much to worry. So now it has a new class category form, if you see here, and it has a method configure. So it nothing, you can do this in filament b3 too, so you don't need to worry all about this, right? Just it has just separated the files. Same for tables. So let me first change the icon name. Let me say it is tag. If I go here, yeah, I have categories. So first, and here it is the record title attribute name. So we need at least a data to explain you. Let me just say test. We will work here for just give me a second. So now here you can see I have this test here. So it is what we call record title attribute, right? So if you want to make it slog, it will be slog. Suppose test slog, refresh, you can see test slog. It is for the breadcrumb, right? Either if you have a view page, the same thing will be here. Perfect. I'll just make it. I think slog will be better rather than name. So now the main purpose for this video is to work on the localization, right? So to work it, first I will just publish the lang file, lang publish. So it will create me a directory here called lang with a default en languages. So here you can see I have something files that are already here, especially related to the validations, passports, pagination and auth. So now what I need is I don't want to create different files since our project is small. So I will just create a single file called resource.php. So where I will just add every backend filament resource navigation. So of course we need to return an array. There are different ways of working on this. It totally depends on you. So now what I want to do is, so if I go here and if I say public static function get navigation label. So we have a navigation label, right? We have model label. Similarly, we have function get plural model label, right? We have three things. So now for these three things, what I want to do is for this project, I'll just say category so that I will just list every navigation on the basis of resource. So let's say category, and the first thing that I will have is navigation, which can be itself an array. Then I can have fields, which will be obviously an array. So in navigation, let's say I will say first thing is label, so it will be category. Let me explain you. So it totally depends on you how you do. So model label, it should be also category. Similarly, plural model label, which should also be category. So I just let's say category 2 and let me say category 3, right? So now how we can use it? So these three are the things, right? So we just need to return, then we need to use the helper function for lang, and here you can see I need to pass the key. The key is the first thing, file name from en. The file name is resource area, so you are c resource dot, then where I am is category dot category, then after that I am inside navigation, then I am inside the label. I need that label. So if I see here and if I refresh here, okay, sorry, I have not returned anything. So let me quickly model level here, plural model level. Let me refresh it. Now you can see category, new category 2, category 3. So you can see how are these things worked in Filament resource. Perfect. So now let me just, for now I just want to make everything its category, and I'm again saying it's totally depend on you how you manage these things, right? So I've just used an array to nested array format. So now let's work for fields. So directly first what I want to do is I will just add here, I have name slog, right? Let's say I have parent category, which should be parent, and similarly I think I have short, I do not have short for field. description, and then let's say description, and then status, maybe status. Perfect. So now if I go here in my schema, so now I can use it. How we can use it in the form schema, right? We need to pass the label and then the same helper method, and the same way we should go from resource, category, then we have the fields, then I have the name. So now you can see it will be easier if you follow one static one method, right? So it should be slug, and of course it should be parent category. Let me also make it searchable. Similarly this, okay, I don't want to show sort in my column. Okay, let me just make active as status, and let me just make description as description, PTION. Perfect. Okay, so now if I go here, you can see everything is now on line file. So now you have been confused that how will it work, right? What we are going to do, what are we doing? So let me show you one example. Suppose let me just copy, and let me say I have ES, which is Spanish language. So here let me just say so just to show you in Spanish. Okay, so I have not translated anything in Spanish, but for everything I have used Spanish in Windows. But if you see here, still inform, no changes, nothing. So we don't have any type of navigation toggle for language for right now, but let me show you how we can do that. If you go in app config, you can see your locally, which is default by en if you have set in env. So if I go here in env, it's en. Let me suppose this is Spanish by default. So now if it's Spanish, it will automatically look at ES value here, and then it will try to work for going this. So let me refresh you, and now you can see everywhere I can see in Spanish. So it does not mean it is the thing is the data, the value are coming from this file, the ES file. So what will happen if ES is not there? If I delete this, automatically it is English. Wow, there is a app fallback locally too, right? Remember that. Also you can see some of the things that have been by default in Spanish. So we'll use the toggle in the upcoming video, how we can change the language by creating a middleware, or we can also use one switcher here to toggle between multiple languages. Either we can use plugin, or if you want to a manual video how we can use it in a simple way, we can definitely do that. So now I think the next thing that we need to check is how we can generate the dynamic slot. So let me get back to our category form. So if I type test, no changes. It's very simple. The first thing that we need here is we need a unique. So if you have worked on Filament B3, and if you know the use of unique, so if you see here test log, if I am trying to do save changes, then it will automatically show an error like, oh, it has already been taken, we need to pass ignore record true in Filament B3. But in Filament B4 we don't need to pass it. By default it will is handled, by default it is handled true. So if I try to save changes, that's it, no error. And then before working on slog, what I want to do is so when I edit or when I create the record, I am still on the same page. So now I want to change it. Suppose if I go to edit category, and here I can say I need to use the redirect method if are in up to in Filament B3, but in Filament B4 we have a very easy method for that. So here we can say create, sorry, resource page create redirect page, which is index. Similarly resource edit page redirect, which is index. save changes, save changes. That's it. Now let's work for the slog part. So after state updated function, so now I need two things, set as well as state. Sorry, state, right? It can be nullable string. So now I need to, what I need to do is my slog will be str. I will use str slog for that particular state. So I need to import str. Let me just import it. Support str, right? And then I will set slog $slog. Perfect. So now if I refresh here, test, no changes. So to make it work, I need to pass live here, right? Or you can also pass after reactive. So test, I can see. But if what if I type, if I try to type fast, it removes the last digit, right? So what I can do is I can say on blur true. Then when I remove this, then only it will generate the slog rather than when I am typing. So I think it will be much more better. Category test, perfect. Then I can say status active, great, perfect. So now I can create it more text. Laravel, great. No, sorry, I don't want this. Status active, great. PHP, perfect. Let's suppose, okay, it's also showing, but we don't care about that for now. Now let's get back to our table. So here first thing is here I need to use the label, of course. Fields.name. Short is not good to show, I think. I can remove this, and this should be status. And for created it, I just since these are the common things, so I will just create a common created it, and then a common updated. So if I go back to my resource here, uh, common lengths, common language, suppose created created at, which is created at, and then updated at, which is updated at. Perfect. So now refresh. Okay, parent name, I did parent, it should be parent category. So now I need to change here. That's all. So now this is how we can create this, right? Now updated at, I think the spell is mistake there. Perfect. So now the last thing that I want to do here is let's create a bulk action to toggle the status. So for that, let's go here, action, make uh, toggle status. If I click here, let's up a label, and it should be resource dot category dot, and let's say action dot toggle. So now if I go here, now I will say action, and it should be toggle, then toggle. Perfect. Test, you can see toggle here. Still there is no anything action for now. So what you can do is action function will just get the collection of records, right? So what we can do is, for each records as $record, we need to update the records. I think it's active, right? Active equals to not $record, $record save. So what I'm doing is, I'm just toggling the record, right? So we have a active status. I just need to toggle. If it's false, then make it true. If it's true, then make it false. So let's just see. So false, true, true, false we have. So the first and last should be true, and the sorry, and the middle one should be false. Sorry, is the selected record, but it is not using access selected record. Okay, let me see what I am getting on records. No. Eloquent collection, I think. Let me just use it normally. Okay, I did a mistake. I created an action. It should be bulk action, my bad. Let me go back here, and then if I select toggle, you can see it has been toggled. If I select toggle, you can see the changes are being reflected. Now I need to inform them right after I finish the work, so I can say notification make, let's say title. We can use uh, notification dot success, as a success, default title, right? Similarly for body, resource dot notification dot success dot default body, right? Yeah, it should be, it is a success message. Then I can say shamed. So if you want, you can obviously create your own language, but I am just creating the default title and default body for it, so that I can use it in multiple projects, multiple places, right? Notification. So notifications, it should be have success, right? Success have default title, and of course that is success, and default body, default body, that is action completed SUCC as a successfully. That's it for my document. Now if I see here and toggle, oh, it didn't work. The translation didn't work. Notification, I think. Refresh. If I click here, toggle, yes, success. I get the success. Now in, let me check here. Resource dot notification dot success dot default body. I am a lot of mistakes. So if I now try to toggle it, yes, that's it. So this much for this video. In this video, the main focus was to how we can create the localization as well as the bulk action. So let's meet up in the next video. Thank you.